everyone to understand each other. So, whether you are white or black or Asian or Hispanic or Muslim or whatever you are, it's it's in a hope to get us to understand each other and have the conversations we need to learn how to love each other. Because unfortunately, in this country, we separate ourselves all on ours, all on our own. So we segregate ourselves, which isn't a good thing. So, bringing this show here where we can have discussions and it's a safe place and all is good, um, I think is a really good thing. So, anyone at any time, if you want to come to the stage and you have a comment or a question, so you can ask any question you wish, and I or maybe someone else in the audience will attempt to answer it. So that's what we're doing. But tonight we have our special guest, really Charlie Perry, and he has just completed another book in his series, A Poetic Pulse 3. Now, I'm pretty sure. Oh, we have technical difficulty. I know you hear an echo, but I can solve that here, maybe. Okay. Now there we go. No, it's back. Live on Fireside. There we go. Now it's taken care of. Thank you, my producer.
Oops.
Okay. So I am going to introduce here really Charlie Perry, and he's a fabulous poet. And I'm going to let him tell you a little bit about himself. My producer, can you bring? There he is. He's already there. My guy, Charlie Perry. How are you this evening?
I'm doing well. How about you? Can you hear me?
No, I cannot hear you.
Hmm,
It's very low and muffled.
okay.
I see you have some new earbuds. There we go. There we go. I can
Uh,
hear you now,
okay.
I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. I took those off, testing them, and they're usually okay. But you know what? I am in a room, isolated away from my family because there are about 16 people in my house,
Oh, really?
and this is the only spot I could find that's quiet enough. But I could still hear them, and it was nice when I had those earbuds on because I couldn't hear anything but you.
Well, I need to hear you too.
Yeah, all right. So,
Otherwise, we don't have much of a show. So
yes,
that's cool. That is cool. So let me ask you: any of the people in the house with you, are they watching the show?
probably not. They're my least amount of. They're my family, but they hear everything before a show. So when the show comes on, they really don't listen. They
I
they
understand.
actually
Believe me, I understand. I
best thing
understand.
about Fireside is they do listen to the replay. So at least they do that.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
Mhm.
So, Charlie, for the people that aren't familiar with you, they're seeing you and maybe me for the first time. Who are you? Who is really Charlie? I mean, come on. You know, I've known you for a while now, but even though it's like every week I find out something new about you. So, can you fill all of us in? Who is really Charlie Perry?
Well, I'm uh, I'm married with grown children and now big grandchildren. So we um retired police officer. Now I am a substitute teacher on a daily basis at a
Bravo.
local elementary school, which I love. I love being. It it also is one of the elementary schools that I attended. When I,
Wow, get out of here.
so my life is going like full circle, and it's just amazing. Still in awe, and this is week 3 already, and I'm still in awe because every different part of the building, I kind of get a flashback of something that happened to me, along with creating some new memories, where I'm sitting down with a young kid and they may be reading with me or telling me a story. So there's another part of my life that is being added, another chapter. So it's amazing. Every single day, I'm just kind of around a bunch of inspiring walls and situations, and but that's that part. I also ran for mayor of my hometown a few years back,
That's cool.
and I came in second. Um,
How
but
many how many people were running?
there was 3, and
Okay, all right.
so I'll take second. And
Okay.
especially when I was one of the, I gave the mayor a run for his money. That they said that he spent $100,000 to beat me.
Wow. And what did you spend? About $125?
Maybe between 1,800 to maybe 3,000 at
All
that.
right. Cool.
But
That is so cool.
yes,
Imagine if you had some money, like real money, because they often say money wins the race.
sure does, sure does.
But that's I mean, bravo. Amazing. That is something that I would probably never do.
No, I don't think I'll do it again. But it was nice keeping people on their toes, and definitely give them a memory that if they continue their ways, then Charlie Perry may run again.
That's right. So now let's get to this fabulous book. I hope the audience can
Thank you,
see this okay.
thank you.
It's a Poetic Pulse 3. So what inspired this? What made you write a third book in this series?
Basically, some of the guests that I had on my podcast, that are writing books, and I just said, you know what, maybe I need to get one out. I'm in over a year, so I said, let me go ahead and get something done. And I have so much material that putting a book out every month could happen.
Wow.
Because I'm writing every single day, and
Great.
it's just my therapy. It's my
Mhm.
therapeutic way of, and I think you feel this the same way when you're writing. It's something that you just have to express, and then after you're writing it, you read it to yourself, and it kind of just allows me to exhale.
Mhm.
And
Wonderful.
so, but I did it all in a day. A day's work.
That's insane, right?
Yeah, it's amazing, but I was trying to test myself and see,
Uh-huh.
and it's kind of like your fabulous wife in her office, writing. She has to get something out, so right at ground zero or sunrise, she's up and doing her thing, and that's what I did. I just got up and started writing and started cutting and pasting different parts of my poetry that I have all over my laptop.
Mhm.
I end up producing this and then self-published it, with Kindle.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. That is excellent. So I did read your book from cover to cover,
Awesome.
and
Yeah.
I thought it was excellent. And my wonderful wife, former professor, um, she was telling me, and I should have known this,
Hmm.
but she was telling me that much of your poetry is ekphrastic.
Mm.
Now, did you know that? You
No.
probably didn't know that either, did you?
No.
See, my wife is smarter than both of us.
Yes, she is.
So, which means that you often take your work from other people's work of art. So it could be from a painting, it could be
Hmm.
from a photograph, it can be from any type of art that someone else creates. So, and I believe you told me a lot of the stuff is written just by someone may send you a picture
Correct.
um, of something and say, "Hey, can you write something to go along with this photograph or some art?" And I know that there's one piece of art because in your book here, not only does it have poetry, but it has art and photographs and things like that. And there's a sketch and it's the one that goes along with Ebony Eyes.
Yes.
The artist, I think it was, yay. My producer's talking to me over here, and yes, yes, I am going to show it. Yes. So, I think it was the art was signed PS. Was it?
Yeah. P. It looks like PS Art, and that's
Okay.
what and or yeah, it's PS Art, and so yes, that's it, and it was it is actually that's a black and white picture, and there is a color picture of it.
Oh, is that right? So it's not just a sketch.
Hmm. And so
That's beautiful.
what I did is I chose to do it um, in the black and white form. Um, it just it was something about these pictures that drew to me as they were black and white. Um, and I said I'm going to stick with that, and I did. But I have
So
most of them in color.
okay. So do you know the artist?
Not at all. I was trying to find them on Instagram, and but I was coming up with um, some other artists, some other companies, but not this particular one because the this picture wasn't showing up. It's a fabulous picture, and why wouldn't it show up on those pages? So I just couldn't find him or her, whoever it may be.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
but it's definitely one picture that I would hang up in my house.
Absolutely.
I love it. So
Absolutely. So really, Charlie, are you going to grace us with a reading this evening? Maybe
why
a
not? If
two, maybe three. I don't
yeah,
know. Whatever
what
you feel comfortable with.
you are the show, and she is the producer. I will do exactly what you say. Um, and why don't we just stick with this picture right here that we have? I know I can read that. Um, and yeah, all right. You just let me know when you're ready.
We are ready.
Okay. All right. Watching me with ebony eyes. Front and center, I turned around to see she was watching me with ebony eyes. I turned in the other direction, and no one was around but me. I was her attention, affection, and connection. Watching me with ebony eyes, she drew me in with a love line at first sight. Oh my dear, spellbound is around and around this room that we are sitting in. It is me you are looking for, and why am I the one you adore? All you did is look at me. What do you want in this man you see?
Bravo! Everybody give really Charlie a round of applause.
Thank you,
There we go. Oh, that was fabulous. So, wow, the claps are still going. Wow.
sounds good, man.
So really, Charlie, you know I have to ask this question.
Yes.
Was that poem written with someone in mind?
Not this time. I
You know I don't believe you.
no, it was. I'm telling you the truth. It came from just looking at that picture. Now,
Okay.
most of like I write different things with green eyes. Usually, when I'm talking about green eyes in my poetry, it's usually coming from my wife. You know,
Okay, that's good to
um,
know.
and so I basically just talk about her eyes and some of the things, and uh, it's just amazing. I'm between eyes and lips. They just fascinate me and get me writing real quickly. I can actually just start right from someone's eyes and their lips and just basically start writing the poem. And they could be maybe in a full body stand, and I can just kind of focus on that, and that would just get me going. Um, so, and I really didn't have this gift when I was younger to just write off a picture. I was always hesitant about how I would start something. Um,
Hmm.
and now I'm not like that. I can very quickly start on something right away, just by a picture or a
Oh,
person.
that's excellent. That's
Yeah,
that's excellent. Unlike you, I don't write every day. I used to though.
yeah.
When I first got into writing poetry about 20 years ago, I used to write every day.
Hmm.
Now it's because it was different. It was much like you. I needed to write poetry in order to heal.
Yes.
That was my outlet. That was my therapy, like you said earlier.
Hmm.
Um, but the good thing, I guess, about me is when I sit down to write, I write. I never, knock on wood, I never just sit and look at the page.
Yeah.
When I'm ready to write, I choose a topic and I write, which is a real blessing for me. That you are still doing it every day is just incredible, just incredible.
It was
So I
kind of
love it. I love it. I love that you're able to do that. So many writers can't do that. They,
no.
they just they can't for whatever reason. They just can't do that. So it's a real gift you have to be able to, just write every day,
Thank you.
which is
It,
really, really, really cool. And if there's any writers in the audience, you probably know that also. It's really, really cool to be able to write every day if that's what you want to do. Um, Many writers are just not able to do that for one reason or another.
yeah.
So that was cool. So do you have another one that you would like to
Yeah.
read
Why
for
don't
us?
we? Why don't we go? Um, I want to read "Feel Me," which talks about Dr. King and the balcony on Memphis. In
Oh
Memphis.
yeah. Yeah.
But before that, is "Smiling Eyes." Can I read that? first?
Sure, yeah, you can read whatever you want. I was getting ready to say you can read the whole book from cover to cover, but I don't think we have enough time for that.
This is now this particular poem I am writing about somebody, and
And they don't have green eyes.
no, they don't. And it was now there's one thing that I did do for my wife, and that no man has ever done for her. And I wrote a whole book for her, whole book.
Cool.
And I always bring that up.
So when you get in the doghouse, you'll say, "But I wrote a whole book for you. I
Yeah.
wrote a whole book for you. I've never done that for anybody. You can't keep me in the doghouse.
And you know what she says? She
Write
said,
another one."
"No." She says, "Really, Charlie?"
Really?
Yeah.
All right. So we're very anxious. We're
All
we're
right.
ready to hear it.
Smiling eyes. On her face, her smiling eyes is part of the beauty. Just one look and some glances, her eyes are always smiling. Winks, looks, stares. She shares her beautiful face with her world. Sunshine takes days off, but her smiling eyes keep on forecasting with an everlasting dose of hypnosis. Please, no spells. I can concentrate on her smiling eyes all by myself. Keep smiling, especially with those eyes. And that's the end of that one.
Wow.
Thank
So
you.
nice. So nice. I'm not going to ask about who that one was about, but I think my producer has something to say.
I
Sure.
just want to comment, like, Charlie, I didn't know how romantic you were. This is incredible.
I do. I have. How do you want to? I forget what they say. It's uh I don't know. I just love romance. It's just something that I've always liked, always wanted. Um, and thanks to my wife, I was able to achieve that, and because I was the man that was a target of being cheated on and fooled upon, and until I met her, and then I definitely found something, and but the romance is so it's something that keeps me involved with my writing, and I can keep going and put one story after another, one poem after another, because I relate a lot of it to myself and what I went through or what some others went through that I know of. And it has my attention, it has my desire. So that's why I do it. And thank you. Coming from you, that means a lot. It means a lot only because writing is your profession, and when stuff like that comes out of your mouth to me, I take it real seriously, and I absorb
Well, I did mean every single word. It's beautiful. And is your wife a creative person too?
it. With crafts, with her, as far as doing things, she makes the most wonderful crafts, and now that she has her cricket machine, she's just doing all kinds of things.
A
So if I
cricket machine. What's a cricket machine?
it designs almost anything you possibly want on vinyl or paper. She can create her own cards. Like if I wanted to make a nice creative card, I could ask my wife to do it, and she would do it. And then later on, we would put it on her little printer and print my words in the card and mail it out to someone special.
Oh, that's
Oh,
beautiful. I
Yeah,
love that.
yeah. So it's she does so many good things, and it's we really don't have to go to a store to go buy a gift for someone.
Oh,
If
cool.
she's determined and said, let's do something. So we may buy the material, whether it's paper or you know a cloth or anything. We can go out and get it. There's a blanket she made me years ago. That is still by far my favorite blanket, the most warm blanket I ever had in my life. And it's the truth, and I love it. She made
Now
it.
you don't go walking down the street with your thumb in the mouth,
Oh,
dragging your blanket, do you?
Like Linus, I
Yeah.
you know what? I have an image to uphold, so I won't do that.
Oh, that is great. That is absolutely fantastic. I just want to say real quick, I see some other people came into the audience. Frankie J, we haven't seen you in a while, and Denise is here, and Stefan and Stephanie, and I believe Tracy was here in the beginning, and Susie. Tracy was not here in the beginning. Hello, Tracy. You weren't here in the beginning, but we're happy you're here now. And let me see, was Pamela here earlier? Jill? She was here? Okay, all right. And Jennifer, I know Jennifer with the black cat and the eyes. There's some green eyes there for you, really, Charlie, in the
I
black
can
cat.
I can
Yeah.
work with that. That would take, that would take me a few
That,
moments.
yeah, that is a great image there. Oh, wow, that's fantastic. And again, I thank everyone for being here on a Saturday night. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, really, Charlie, you got one more for us, don't you?
Yeah. And I mean, everyone knows that the balcony where Dr. King was assassinated, and so that's the image
Actually,
that I'm looking at.
yeah,
That's the
let me pull that up here. I just saw it. There it is. So people can see it.
yeah. So that's so what I'm the title of this poem is called "Feel Me." Feel me. All right. Feel me. You don't have to tell me where this is, even though I never been there. Feel me? I still feel the pain in this picture, the pain of the balcony. These rails touched so many people and held up the feet of a great man who had an American dream that was some others' nightmares. Feel me? He was walking as a dead man, but he smiled like an angel. A room he registered for that was changed into a target place, so the shot heard around the world could be easily put in motion. This place has caused many emotions that tears will never stop, and the structure will be forever in American history. Feel me? The vacancy is the man who needed a room to rest his tireless body. A vacancy in this Lorraine motel will be forever left on the balcony where he stood. He fell and left his blood, sweat, and tears on this balcony as a surface or sacrifice for everyone. He was the cause and effect for a tidal wave America needed, even if it cost him his life. Feel me? You don't have to tell me where this is, even though I never been there. Feel me? Thank you.
Oh, amazing, amazing. Ooh, boy. That that really
Thank
got
you.
to
Thank
me.
you.
And I have been there.
Oh,
I lived in Memphis for a short time, and while I was there, I went and visited the motel. Now, you know, back in the day, there were little motels like that everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, like everywhere. You saw them all the time. And I've stayed in motels like that throughout my travels across the country. But when I went there, it just felt different.
Hmm.
The feel of the place was just completely different. It felt like a memorial. It felt much like the only place I can compare it to is Pearl Harbor. Um, it's like I could still feel the death there, just as if it happened today.
True.
So it really does strike up an emotion when you go there. And I suggest anyone, if they have a chance, if they're even passing through Memphis, just stop in there real quick. It won't take long, and just check it out. Uh, so we can just see what it's like. And the same with Dallas, Texas, where John F. Kennedy was assassinated. It's the same thing when you actually see where it happened, when you actually go into the building where the shooter was or allegedly was. Uh, it just has a different feel to it. Um, I can't say much more about that, but it's definitely a place in history that we all need to remember. And so, thank you so much for writing about it.
Thank you. Thank you. It it's I will make it there. It will be on my bucket list eventually. Um, Probably not this year, but I definitely have no problem making it part of my plans for 2024. You know.
Fantastic, fantastic. Producer.
Yes, we have a comment from Frankie J. When you were describing what it feels like in Memphis and in Dallas, he says it's the same at Ground Zero,
Yeah.
and that he gets chills every time he gets to
Exactly.
that spot.
Yeah, yes, I definitely can believe that.
I can confirm that too. Definitely, same exact feeling.
Mhm, mhm.
Frankie's correct. You know.
Well, thank you so much, Frankie J, for adding uh, that comment because I'm sure you're absolutely correct in the
It is.
feeling of when you're there. And I haven't been to Ground Zero, and I don't really want to go to Ground Zero. I just think it's gonna really overwhelm me.
Mm.
But I may go one day. I don't know. I've been to New York many times since then, and I've been close to Ground Zero, but I didn't stop and check it out. It really, being that I am from New York, my uncle worked there at one time. My brother owned a moving and storage company, and I've actually worked in there doing move jobs, commercial office moves, and everything. And it really strikes home for me because I was a child when it was being built.
Wow.
And I lived in Hempstead, but oh man, I'm getting all emotional just thinking about it. But I can't even say.
Well,
Anyway, we could see the World Trade Center from where I lived, and we lived about 30 miles away, but we could see it, and it was just so much part of my life. Talking about it, seeing it, relatives that lived there, people that died there, it's just messes me up. Anyway, you were going to say something, Jill?
yes, Frankie J wrote more. He said, "You feel the spirits of the lost souls there, and that he's in Buffalo." when he went to our Flowers at that mass shooting site, which is 3 miles from him, he had this overwhelming feeling of fear and sadness.
Yeah. Yeah. Whew. Well, you know, really, Charlie, I was going to um, end at your 3 poems, but it seems that that last one has really got to us all. So, do you have one more? it's it's the kind of light that'll bring us up, lift us up. And
right.
then I also have a poem to do this evening by May the Poet. It's called Legacy.
All right. Let me look in here. Uh, well, we definitely don't want to read Black and Blue because that will set us back here. Let's see. Taking Back. Um, let's see. Yeah, I'll bring this. This should touch everybody. This one, because it's grandmothers. Should be on page 48, I believe. Um, whenever am I? Can I go on now?
Yeah,
All right.
you're ready to go.
Grandmothers, cherish the time you have. Grandmothers don't last forever. Absorb the love and capture all you can. Heaven waits for no one, and heaven is above the sun. So if you believe you are shining on earth, remember it's just might be sunshine on your material things. Grandmothers don't last forever. Thank you for your love and support. Poetry is my way of expressing things related to me or not, but it does my mind, body, and soul good. All of my books are on Amazon, Lulu, and Amazon. Sorry, Tony, I got a bad book here.
Just so everyone knows, I'm going to tell the story really
Go ahead.
quickly. So that this book, this latest book, A Poetic Pulse 3, which really Charlie put out in a day. Well, the first printing was incorrect. The
Yes.
page numbers didn't match up properly. And I have that edition, which is going to be worth a lot of money one day because it's the one that was printed incorrectly. So, no problems, no worries. It's all okay.
All right, I got one here.
Okay.
All right. So it's the picture with the two hearts. Give your heart
Yes.
something. All right. And don't mind my New England accent where we have a problem pronouncing our R's. And so, all right.
Yeah. Park the car.
Yeah. Give your heart something. Give your heart something to love. A heart deserves another heart with a pulsating passion to keep love alive. A heart can survive all by itself, but life alone isn't happiness, but truly loneliness. Give your heart something. Another heart is a start. Another heart to ignite you day and night. Another lover that is heart to heart. Give your heart something. Heartfelt, heartwarming, wholeheartedly the best heart in the world. Every heart needs another. Thank you.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, thank
Excellent. Another great poem. Excellent, excellent. Wow.
Thank you. The
Cool. Now, let me, I want to tell the audience something about Really Charlie. First of all, I love him.
Love you
Second
too.
of all, go ahead.
I love you. I love you too.
Thank you. And second of all, Really Charlie on the Really Charlie podcast, and correct me if I'm wrong, and because I've seen and heard many of the interviews, um, you tend to put a spotlight on authors. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes, I
And,
do.
and which is amazing because authors have such a hard time getting the word out about their books, being published, to find an agent if they're going the traditional route, to find an agent to get published, to make some money on top of that.
True.
And you take it on your own to put a spotlight on all of these authors, and actually they're all really fabulous authors, which is amazing.
True.
So just for doing that work is like incredible. So when you come out with any book, I will always give you a platform
Thank you.
because someone needs to do for you what you do for others. And I know people do. And I know people do. But if we have love in our hearts for someone and we have it in our ability to be able to help them, we should help them. Period. There should be no question about it. So again, I applaud you for all the good work that you do.
Thank you.
So just
Back
keep
at
it
you.
up.
Back at you. The I'm the Atlanta's Writers Club has been amazing. And they have really, really kind of followed the podcast. And I like to put a lot of, people associated with them on my podcast only because they have, since I had Catherine Nichols on, and Kim Conray, George Weinstein, I have got a repetition of friends on a weekly basis from just their circle. And I have maintained another one is Gabby Anderson, amazing authors. And they have gave me a circle that I am truly, truly looking for my podcast because they are writers and we live and learn. Another one is Jeff Shaw. He constantly is supporting me on the podcast, and I really, really appreciate it. Along with you and your wife, who were my former guests, and I still listen to that
Yes.
show. We had a great day, great night. That was something, that still I look at it and we did it from I was in my kitchen and that's one of my favorite podcasts only because of you
Uh,
two.
Well, thank you. That means a lot. That means a whole lot to us. And Jill has something to say.
Well, you know you're an honorary member of the Atlanta Writers Club, right? So that's the first thing I wanted to say.
That's
But the
that's
second thing, I think Frankie J's comment is for you, Charlie. He says, I finished writing my book, have no clue how to publish it. Please help me.
I will.
Oh.
I will. And don't be spending a lot of money. Don't because I could teach you how to do it for free. I'm working with two authors right now, and just make an account with Kindle Direct Publishing, which is KDP, which is done by Amazon, and go that route for now. Only because it's your first book, and the people that are going to support you are your close friends and family. And they're gonna give you, some money and book signings and all that. So keep it simple at first, and then you use your first book to go to a publisher later on and say, "Look, this is what I wrote. This is what I want to do." But before you even listen to me, I mean, listen to me right now, but I want you to get expert opinions from the Atlanta's Writers Club. They have a seminar 2 times a year. They have access to their site on Facebook. You know, go on board there. But Kindle Direct Publishing is something you want to do right now. And Frankie, I will get in touch with you as soon as this coming week, and we'll go from there.
Cool. Oh,
Yeah.
that's great. See, that's what I'm talking about. That is the kind of guy really Charlie Perry is. It's just amazing, just amazing. And for those of you that didn't know, Charlie's talking about the Atlanta Writers Club, and Jill and I both are members of the Atlanta Writers Club. And we love it over there.
I'm a former board member.
And yes, Jill is a former board member of the AWC. Wow. I can't believe this, Charlie. Actually, I can. I always love talking to you, and we've like taken up the whole show on you. So I would love it if you stay on the stage. Just mute your mic. And I'm going to do a poem called Legacy by May the Poet, which is also a person that's on Fireside quite often. And she's one of Dave and Sam's people from the How Was Your Day Club on Fireside. So I'm going to do her poem real quick, and then we will get to why this episode is called Who Do You Think You Are? Because the poem I'm going to do tonight is called It Don't Matter. Don't matter. Whatever you think, it don't matter. So first, I'm going to do Legacy. And this poem was inspired. Mind you, this is not my poem. This is May the Poet, also someone here on Fireside. And one of my shows on Poetic People Fighting Racism inspired this poem by her. So I'm going to get into it real quick so we don't go over. And here we go. I came from my ancestors, a bleed of life. They struggled, and so did I. From time to time, from my birth to when I too shall die. I brought joy and doubt, joy of being in the world, doubt of the evolution of society. I worry. What would I learn? On the journey on my own, from whom, from where, from love, from hate. I know education is not free. It's not a gift. It's not a gift. Who we are is our heritage. We have had lives before our own, traditions practiced at home. We have had topics like slavery, like concentration camps, people bleeding into a melting pot that makes new molds of old faces and new. Staring legacy to make their own legacy. We have had too many racist looks, misunderstandings, miscommunications, spoken or not, heard or not. Our school books are guides. They set a timeline, not actual lessons, not lessons we actually experience, but we are given ideas to ponder. They say to broaden our horizons, but there will be Limitations and limitations. Doors open and others shut, fast and swift. But not all of us are swift. We don't move so fast. We take no chances. With the one life we live, we look for pitfalls and dead ends. We plan strategies to help us survive for the time that's necessary. So we aren't in jeopardy. We stand up to give something to the next generation, more than a roof over our heads, more, so much more. We give legacy, stepping stones to build our story, a life, an explanation beyond the years. So we are alone to breathe. For we tell the stories, writing journeys, writing journals as guides, the lasting notes to how they got here. Now they have a chapter to learn from and one to give. This will be a guide to who they will be. This will be a guide to what will happen. A legacy. A legacy. What's yours? A legacy. Oh, let the story begin. A legacy. And that's the end of the poem by May the Poet. That is it. Cool. Thank you, May the Poet, that couldn't make it tonight because she was working tonight. So again, we always love it when someone sends in some poetry, especially someone like May. All right. We're almost at the hour. I can see I'm going to go over by maybe 2 minutes, and then we'll start closing up the show. So this poem goes along with the title. Who do we think we are? The title of this episode. Who do you think you are? And the title of the poem is It Don't Matter. It Don't Matter. So here we go. We are trying to find a place to be free, to be equal to everyone we see. In this country built on lies, this country built on the backs and the bones and the sweat and the tears and the years of black lives in this country. In this country, the blue and white eyes try to justify the evil deeds they do to make white dreams come true, to live the American dream. The blue and white eyes dream and believe they are supreme to all black lives, and it don't matter. It don't matter what kind of black life in America we are. It don't matter. It don't matter what kind of black life in America we see ourselves as. It don't matter how much education we have or will never have. It don't matter how big our houses are or what kind of cars we drive. It don't matter what kind of clothes we wear or how wealthy we are. Through the view of the blue and white eyes, it still don't matter. It still won't matter what type of black lives in America we are or what we might become. It still don't matter. It still won't matter. We could be the type of black life in America that becomes the first black woman or the first black man, the first black president of the United States of America. The most powerful person, the most powerful black person in this country of lies. We could be the type of black life in America that cures world hunger. We could be the type of black life in America that ends homelessness. We could be The type of black life in America that is responsible for creating peace all over the world. We could be, well, every place in the world except here, with the blue and white eyes that control our lives in this country of lies where we live and die. We could be all of these things and more, and still be shackled to floors, behind locked doors, can't rise through ceilings. We'll still be dealing and living and dying and crying and living and dying from a system of systemic racism and America caste system, ingrained in the bones and brains of black lives and white lives in this country of lies. Two systems ingrained in the bones and brains of black lives in this country of lies, of black lives and white lives in this country of lies. Two systems feeding on black lives, trying to survive before we die. Two systems helping white lives live and thrive over our dying black lives. We still won't matter. We still don't matter. It still won't matter. We are just less than, just living and dying for the melanin in our skin, for the darkness of our skin. We are just less than, just living and dying for the melanin in our skin, the darkness of our skin. Ooh, that's it. That's it. I usually try to go back over who the blue and white eyes are, but the blue and white eyes are some of the people with white skin that believe their European blood makes them pure, blue blood running through their veins, better and supreme than anyone with color in their skin. So blue and white eyes doesn't necessarily mean anyone with blue and white eyes.
Extraordinary. Excellent.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Charlie. And thank you, audience, for the applause. I really, really do appreciate it. Wow. That stuff just gets me worked up. That's why I only do the show every other week. I can't do this every week. It'll wear me out. Producer, do you have any comments, questions?
Yes. First of all, Frankie J thanked you, Charlie, and you too, Anthony, for everything. And Charlie, I don't know if you looked in the messages, but he gave you his contact info
Cool.
for you to reach out to him, or him to reach out to you, I suppose. Also, Tony, don't forget to tell everyone what show you have coming up.
I'm getting to that now as I'm getting ready to close this show out, because we are about 4 minutes over at this point. So again, there's a couple of things I want to say before I close this show out. And one is that everyone here, everyone that's been in this show tonight and all the other shows that I've done, count yourselves everyday activists. You don't necessarily have to be out on the street to be an activist. Just coming to this show is your part of being an activist, an everyday activist. You're here, you're listening, you're having conversations with us. We're having conversations with each other, which makes all of us everyday activists. Give yourself a round of applause, because again, you don't have to be here. You don't have to be here. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I thank you and I love you for being here. Everyone that's in the audience, I love you for being here. For real. Okay. Now, we got a couple of things coming up, and I'm going to start playing outro music. But we got a couple of things coming up. The next thing that's coming up is, some of you know that I have a new show that's coming up, and it's called The Soul Reader. I am a soul reader. I am a psychic and a natural born empath. And I'm going to do readings live every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. The first show is going to be about how to be happy with yourself. And I'll do a reading for you. I won't talk to your dead loved ones, but things that have to do with you and your soul, who you truly are, where you need to go in your life, what you need to change in your life. These are the things I can tell you. So I'm looking forward to seeing all of you on Tuesday. That's April the 4th, 9 p.m. Eastern. Can't wait to see you. I love you all. So please come.
And you have a special guest.
And I do have a special guest. I do. Dr. Judy. And Dr. Judy is a spiritual healer. And she is really, really good. Jill has used her services, and the issues Jill was having were cured in one session. One session. An issue she had been dealing with for years was killed in 1 second. It was gone. Poof. So she is incredible. And she's a real doctor. Okay. So that's going to be cool. On April 15th, this show will be live from New Orleans, and we're going to do pop-ups throughout the day, probably starting at about 2, maybe 3 p.m. So check that out. Yeah, that's going to be cool. But I won't be drunk. I'm not going to be New Orleans drunk. I'm not going to be carrying any hurricanes and hand grenades. That's what they call them, little tall asses. I won't be carrying any of those. So the music, I talked so long, the music ran out. What else have we got? The music you're hearing now is called Choral. I don't know how I forgot that. And it's by 29 Beats. The music that I played with the poem I did, It Don't Matter, is called Air Traffic. And I'm not even going to try to read the name again, but it's something like Korarua. I really screwed that one up, but it's okay. I apologize to the artist that created this. And let me see, during the next episode that we do on the 15th, live from New Orleans, the topic is, or the title of the show is Prison Life, Black Life. Prison Life, Black Life. So that'll be the title of the show, and I'm going to do a poem called Black Life in Prison, live from New Orleans, and that should be pretty cool. Again, I love you all. I can ask, and I love you all, and I thank everyone for coming. I especially thank Really Charlie for creating such a wonderful show tonight. And I could have easily talked to him for the whole hour. No problem. So thanks again. Thanks, Really Charlie. Thank you, Frankie J, for your comments. And thank you, everyone else, for coming to the show this evening. And I truly do love you all. I hope I see you all on April 4th and April 15th. So we're going to get out of this show. We got stuff to do tonight. We got partying to do tonight. We got to run all over town tonight and paint the city red. That's an old term. We're going to paint the city red. So we'll see you all.